You are standing at the factory gate. They are already closing. The air here is thick, hot. It smells of oil, sweat, and coal. The machines do not stop, not during the day, not at night. They do not see people. They only see hands, backs, and time. One mistake, and the mechanism does not forgive. Here they do not hear screams. Here they are swallowed by the noise. Here they do not ask if you are tired. Here they simply turn on another shift. You go inside, and the light behind you goes out. In front of you is an endless row of machines. Above you is steam and smoke. Under your feet is a wet floor and shadow. And you suddenly understand. This is not work. This is a trap. And if you don't get out in time, the factory will leave you here forever. Welcome to the daily life of a Victorian worker.
The gates that don't open. Back.
The factory does not sleep. Even before dawn, when the city is still wrapped in darkness, the building is already awake. Its windows glow faintly through the fog. Its chimneys breathe slowly, releasing thick clouds of steam into the cold morning air. The sound of metal echoes from inside, a distant, constant rumble, like the growl of some enormous animal waiting to be fed. You walk towards it with hundreds of others, man, women, children. Your boots strike the cobblestones in an uneven rhythm. The street is wet from last night's rain, and soot clings to every surface. The air tastes bitter. Somewhere nearby, a bell rings once, low and hollow, summoning workers from every narrow alley and crowded tenement. No one speaks. They move in silence, wrapped in coats too thin for the cold, scarves pulled tight around their necks. Faces are pale in the gaslight. Eyes remain fixed on the ground. There is no energy for conversation, no room for hesitation. Ahead of you rise the iron gates. They are tall, heavy, blackened by decades of smoke and rust. Each bar is as thick as a man's wrist. Above them, a sign hangs crookedly from two chains. Textile Mill Number 4. The letters are faded, the paint is peeling, but everyone knows the name. This is where the day begins, and where it may never end. The gates creak open. A surge of bodies presses forward. The guards stand to either side, counting heads. Their breath forms white clouds in the air. One of them holds a ledger, the other grips a baton. Neither looks at faces, only at numbers. Inside the yard, the smell changes. Oil, hot metal, wet cloth, steam. The ground vibrates faintly beneath your boots. The building ahead is enormous. 4 floors of brick and iron, windows stacked like dark eyes, watching. Someone stumbles behind you. A child, no more than 10, catches himself before falling. His hands are already stained black. His sleeves are too short. He says nothing. No one helps him. He simply stands again and moves forward. The doors swallow you. Inside, the noise becomes physical. It presses against your chest. It fills your skull. It vibrates in your bones. Rows of machines stretch farther than you can see. Steel frames tower overhead. Belts spin along the ceiling. Gears turn without pause. Pistons rise and fall like the beating hearts of mechanical giants. The floor is slick with oil and water. Steam coils around ankles and knees. Lanterns hang from iron beams, their light dim and yellow, swallowed by shadows. A foreman walks the aisle between the machines. He carries a whistle. and a stopwatch. His boots are clean. His coat is heavy wool. His face is sharp and pale. He stops in front of a group of workers and looks at them one by one. Positions. The word snaps through the noise like a whip. Everyone moves. You step into your place beside a spinning frame. The machine is taller than you. Its belts run so fast they blur. The threads flicker in the lantern light, thin as spider silk. The man beside you wipes his hands on his trousers. His fingers shake. "You're new!" he shouts over the roar. You nod. "Don't let it bite you," he says. Then the whistle blows, and the factory begins. The first hour passes without shape or meaning. Time dissolves into motion. Hands reach, threads snap, spindles turn, belts scream. You feed raw cotton into the frame. You watch for tangles. You tie broken threads with numb fingers. The air is thick with dust so fine it floats like mist. Each breath burns. Somewhere down the line, a machine shrieks. A woman cries out. The noise does not stop. No one looks. The foreman walks past, glancing only at the frames. The belts keep moving. The spindles keep spinning. The woman disappears between two machines. Another worker steps into her place. You are not meant to notice. You are not meant to remember. The factory teaches this quickly. By mid-morning, your arms ache. Your back burns. Your ears ring with the endless metallic roar. The lanterns flicker as clouds of steam roll through the hall. Water drips from overhead pipes. Somewhere above, heavy boots cross the iron walkways. Children run between machines, carrying bobbins taller than their torsos. They move fast, too fast. Their faces are gray with dust. Their eyes are wide and alert. One slips. A bobbin rolls across the floor. A foreman turns. The child scrambles to retrieve it. His fingers close just in time, inches from a spinning belt. He looks up, breathless. The foreman says nothing. He only writes something in his ledger. The whistle does not blow. The machines do not stop. At noon, there is no bell. There is only a slight change in the rhythm. Some machines slow, others do not. You eat standing. A piece of bread, a strip of cold meat, water from a tin cup. The air is hotter now. The steam thickens. Sweat runs down your back and soaks into your clothes. The cotton dust sticks to your skin. A man nearby coughs, deep, wet, painful. No one reacts. Another worker takes his place when he bends double. The factory does not pause for sickness. It does not care for hunger. It only counts hours. In the afternoon, fatigue becomes dangerous. Hands move slower. Eyes blink longer. Steps falter. The belts seem closer now. The gears louder. The spindles faster. You catch your sleeve on a hook. The fabric tears. Your heart stops. You pull free just as the belt snaps past your shoulder. The machine never noticed you were there. You step back into place. No one speaks. As the light fades outside, the lanterns grow dimmer. Shadows stretch across the floor. Steam pools in corners. The ceiling disappears into darkness. The factory grows louder. The rhythm tightens. The foreman walks faster. "Keep pace!" The words echo through the hall. A child stumbles near the far wall. A scream cuts through the noise, high and sharp. Then nothing. The machine keeps turning. The whistle does not blow. By the time the final bell rings, you no longer know how long you have been inside. Your hands are raw. Your throat burns. Your head pounds. The gates open again. Night waits outside. Cold, wet, silent. Workers spill into the yard like shadows escaping a cave. Some lean against the wall, breathing hard. Others walk straight past, already thinking of the next dawn. You step onto the street. The fog has thickened. The factory behind you exhales a final cloud of steam, then falls quiet. But you know it is only sleeping, waiting. Tomorrow it will open its mouth again, and it will expect you to return. The long walk home. The gates close behind you. Not with a slam, not with finality, but with the slow, heavy scrape of iron against stone. A sound that lingers in the ear long after it fades. The factory exhales one last cloud of steam. Then the yard falls quiet. For a moment, no one moves. Men and women stand in the fog, shoulders hunched, breath rising in pale clouds. Their faces are streaked with soot. Their clothes hang heavy with damp and sweat. Their eyes stare into nothing. The day is over, but it has not released you. The street stretches ahead like a tunnel of shadows. Gas lamps flicker along the road, casting weak yellow circles onto the wet stones. The fog swallows their light after only a few steps. Beyond that, the city becomes a blur of brick and smoke. You join the stream of workers moving away from the gates. No one speaks. Boots scrape. Coughs echo. A cart rattles past, pulled by a thin horse whose ribs show through its coat. The factory remains behind you, tall and dark, its chimneys still warm. Even silent, it feels awake, watching, waiting. You walk faster. The neighborhood changes as you move. Wide streets become narrow lanes. Brick walls close in. Windows shrink. The smell of oil fades, replaced by damp stone and refuse. Water trickles along the gutters, black with soot. A woman walks beside you. Her hair is tied in a loose knot, already coming undone. Her face is pale beneath the grime. She carries a bundle wrapped in cloth. Her lunch tin, her spare stockings, a piece of bread saved for tomorrow. Her shoulders sag. She does not look at you. Ahead, a group of children hurry along, their steps quick and light despite the long day. They dart around puddles and broken crates, weaving between adults twice their size. One of them turns and grins at another. The smile is gone almost as soon as it appears. They disappear into the fog. You pass a row of shops. A butcher's window glows red with hanging meat. A baker's door leaks warm air and the smell of bread. A public house spills laughter and smoke into the street. You slow. Your stomach tightens. Inside, men sit with pints in their hands. Their faces are flushed, their voices loud. A fiddle plays somewhere near the back. For a moment, the world feels distant, like a memory from another life. Then the door closes. The street grows quiet again. You keep walking. The houses crowd closer now. Tall, narrow terraces lean toward each other, their bricks blackened by decades of smoke. Laundry hangs from lines strung across the alley, dripping onto the stones below. Water pools in every hollow. A woman empties a bucket from an upper window. You step aside just in time. The water splashes against the wall, leaving a dark streak that runs down to the ground. She mutters an apology. Her voice is tired. The tenements rise at the end of the lane. They are old, crooked, overcrowded. Every window glows faintly. Shadows move behind thin curtains. The smell of boiled cabbage and coal smoke hangs in the air. This is where the factory sends you. You climb the steps. The door sticks. Someone has wedged a piece of wood beneath it to keep it from swinging shut. Inside, the stairwell is narrow and steep. The walls are damp. The railing is slick with grime. A child sits on the bottom step, waiting. When he sees you, he stands. "You're late," he says. You glance at the clock above the door. It is nearly 8. He nods toward the stairs. "Mom's waiting." The climb is slow. Each step creaks under your weight. The air grows warmer as you rise. Somewhere above, a baby cries. A man coughs behind a thin wall. On the 3rd floor, a door opens. A woman peers out, her face lined and sharp. "Any news?" she asks. You shake your head. She sighs and closes the door. Your room is at the end of the corridor. The door is thin, the handle loose. A crack runs from the frame to the floor. Inside, the lamp burns low. Your mother sits at the small table, darning a sock. Her hair is streaked with gray. Her fingers move slowly. She looks up when you enter. "You're home." Her voice is soft. You nod. She sets the sock aside and pours you a cup of tea. The liquid is weak and dark. The cup is chipped. "Eat," she says, pushing a plate toward you. Bread, cheese, a slice of cold meat. You sit. Your hands shake as you lift the cup. For a moment, there is silence. Then she speaks. "Did anyone get hurt today?" You hesitate. She watches your face. You think of the scream, the machine, the way the sound vanished. "I don't know," you say. She nods. That is answer enough. Later, you lie on your bed. The mattress is thin. The blanket smells of damp. The room is cold. Through the wall, you hear voices. A man arguing. A child laughing. Someone singing softly. Outside, a cart passes. Hooves strike stone. A dog barks. You close your eyes. But the factory follows you. You see the belts, the gears, the spinning frames. You hear the whistle. You feel the floor trembling beneath your feet. Your hands twitch as if reaching for thread. Sleep comes slowly. When it does, it is heavy and dark. You dream of iron gates. You dream of endless halls. You dream of machines that do not stop. And somewhere, far away, a bell is already ringing, calling you back. Before the bell rings. You wake before the city does. Not because you are rested, not because you want to. You wake because your body has learned something your mind still refuses to accept. The factory owns the morning. The room is dark. The lamp has burned down to a small, trembling ember. The air is cold enough to sting your lungs. Somewhere in the building, a pipe drips steadily. One drop, then another, like a clock that does not care what day it is. You lie still for a moment, listening. A muffled cough from the next room. A floorboard creaking 2 doors down. A child whimpering in sleep. Then, far away through the fog and brick, almost too faint to be real, a bell. Not the factory bell, not yet. This is smaller. A church bell, perhaps. Or the bell of a night watchman passing at the end of the street. It rings once, low and distant, and your stomach tightens because it feels like a warning. You sit up. Your muscles protest as if you've been beaten. Your hands ache in a slow, deep way, the kind of pain that belongs to bone, not skin. When you open your fingers, they don't fully straighten. They curl as if still holding thread. For a moment, you simply stare at them. They are not the hands you had a year ago. They are not the hands you had last month. The factory is rewriting you, one day at a time. You stand and pull on your clothes. Everything is damp. Nothing is warm. Your shirt smells of old sweat and oil. Your trousers are stiff with grime. Your boots are still wet from yesterday. You lace them anyway. There is no choice. In the corner, your mother has already risen. She moves quietly, as if sound itself costs money. She blows gently on the coals in the small stove, trying to coax life from them. A weak flame appears, then fades. She tries again. Her shoulders are thin under her shawl. She pours water into a pot. The water is not clear. It never is. Still she heats it, and when it begins to tremble, she drops in tea leaves, used already once, maybe twice. She hands you the cup. "Drink," she says. Her eyes don't look at the cup. They look at your face, as if checking that you're still here. You sip. The tea tastes like warm metal. Down the corridor, someone knocks on a door. A man's voice, low and sharp. "Up! Up! You'll miss it!" A baby starts crying. A woman hisses for silence. Footsteps shuffle. Doors open. The building comes alive with the slow movements of exhausted people preparing to repeat the same day. You step into the stairwell. It smells of damp wood, coal smoke, and bodies. On the second floor, a boy sits on a step, half asleep with his head against the wall. He is too small for the job he does, but his hands are already rough. He blinks when you pass, then forces himself to stand. "Morning," he says, though it isn't. His voice is small, like he is practicing being older. You nod once. You don't want to speak. If you speak, you might admit what you're thinking. And what you're thinking is this: if I don't move, I'll be late. If I'm late, I'll be punished. If I'm punished, I might lose the job. If I lose the job, we don't eat. That's how the trap works. Not with chains, with arithmetic. Outside, the street is a corridor of fog. Gas lamps still burn, but their light is weak, swallowed by mist. The stones glitter with moisture. The air tastes like soot. The city is quiet in the way a sick person is quiet. Not peaceful, but drained. You join the flow of workers moving toward the mill. They come from everywhere, from alleys and basements, from rooms where whole families sleep in one bed. They walk quickly, heads down, collars up, hands shoved into pockets. Everyone looks the same in the fog. Gray, tired, already late. And yet, no one runs, because running wastes strength you will need inside. As you approach the factory district, the air changes again. It thickens. It grows warm in the wrong places, cold in others. You smell oil first, then wet cotton, then smoke. The chimneys rise ahead like black teeth against the sky. The factory itself is barely visible at first, a shadow in the mist. Then it appears, a block of dark brick, tall windows, iron beams. It seems larger in the morning, as if it has grown overnight. You feel the same sensation as yesterday. Not fear exactly, something lower, heavier, a pressure in the chest, a sense that you are walking toward a mouth. The gates are open. Guards stand on either side. One holds the ledger, one holds the baton. The ledger man counts without expression. The baton man watches faces, not for who you are, for whether you look like someone who might break. A girl in front of you coughs into her sleeve. It's a terrible cough, deep, ragged, as if her lungs are being scraped from the inside. She tries to swallow it, tries to hide it. The baton man steps closer. He studies her. She lowers her eyes. She doesn't stop coughing. For a long moment, the air is still. Then he jerks his head. Inside. She stumbles forward, relieved. Not because she is safe, because she has been allowed to suffer one more day. In the yard, the fog thins. The building looms. The doors wait. Workers funnel into lines, drawn by habit, by fear, by the need to keep moving. Then the factory bell rings. It is louder than any other sound. It hits the air like a hammer. Once, twice, 3 times. Your body reacts before your mind does. Your shoulders tense. Your heart jumps. Your hands tighten. Around you, people flinch, almost imperceptibly, like animals trained by pain. The bell does not say, "Good morning." It says, "You are late," even when you are early. Inside, the noise is already rising. Machines warming, belts catching, gears turning, steam hissing from pipes. The hall is dim. Lantern light swims in smoke. Shadows cling to corners. The floor glistens with oil. You take your position at the frame. The machine stands there like a thing that has been waiting for you personally. You place your hands where they must go. You tell yourself, quietly, not as a prayer but as a rule, don't let it bite you. The whistle blows, and the day begins again. But this time, you understand something you didn't yesterday. It isn't the long hours that are dangerous. It's the moment before them. The moment when you can still imagine escape. Because once the machines start, the factory doesn't just take your time, it takes your thoughts. And it replaces them with rhythm. The first mistake. The machine does not care who you are. It does not know your name. It does not know how old you are. It does not know how many hours you slept. It only knows speed. The belts turn. The spindles spin. The frame hums with a steady, relentless rhythm. You stand where you stood yesterday, and the day before, and the day before that. Your hands move without thought. Feed the cotton. Watch the thread. Tie the brake. Step back. Step forward. Wipe the oil from your fingers. Reach again. The factory has trained your body faster than your mind, and that is dangerous. The hall is already thick with steam. Water drips from overhead pipes, falling in slow, uneven drops. Each one leaves a dark circle on the floor before it disappears beneath boots and wheels. Lanterns sway slightly as belts run overhead. Shadows stretch and contract with the motion of the machines. Somewhere down the line, a child is singing. It is a quiet song, half-whispered, swallowed almost instantly by the noise. You can't make out the words, only the tune. It sounds like something meant for sleep. It does not belong here. The foreman walks the aisle. You feel him before you see him. The air seems to tighten when he passes. Conversations stop. Coughs are swallowed. Backs straighten. His boots strike the floor with deliberate weight. He carries his stopwatch in one hand, the whistle in the other. He stops near your frame. You do not look at him. Looking is a mistake. He watches the thread run through the machine. He glances at the speed gauge. He checks the tension. Everything must move at the right pace. Not too slow, not too fast. The wrong rhythm wastes money. After a moment, he moves on. Your lungs release the breath you did not realize you were holding. An hour passes. Then another. Your shoulders burn. Your wrists ache. Your eyes sting from dust and heat. Sweat runs down your back and pools at your waistband. You wipe your face with your sleeve. The cotton fibers cling to your skin. The air tastes dry. You reach for a broken thread. Your fingers slip. Only for a moment, only enough to let the thread twist around the spindle. The machine reacts instantly. The frame shudders, the belt jerks, the thread snaps with a sharp crack. The sound cuts through the hall like a gunshot. Your heart jumps into your throat. You freeze. The machine continues to spin, empty now, waiting to be fed again. Around you, other workers glance over, their eyes quick and wary. The foreman turns. He is already walking toward you. You know the rules. A broken thread is not a crime, but a stopped frame is. He stops beside your station. The stopwatch clicks open. "How long?" he shouts over the noise. You don't answer fast enough. His eyes narrow. "How long has it been down?" "Just now," you say. Your voice sounds thin, even to you. He looks at the machine, at the tangled thread, at your hands. He writes something in his ledger. The pencil scratches loudly. "Fix it." You move. Your fingers fumble with the thread. They are slick with sweat. The cotton clings to your skin. You feel his eyes on you, the weight of them, the judgment, the knowledge that he is counting every second. You tie the knot, feed the thread back into place. The spindle catches. The belt pulls. The frame hums again. The sound returns to its steady roar. The factory exhales. The foreman does not move. He looks at his stopwatch, then at you. 34 seconds, he says. He writes again. Then he walks away. The pressure in your chest does not ease. You know what the ledger means. The ledger remembers. The ledger does not forget. The rest of the morning stretches long and thin. Every movement feels slower. Every sound feels sharper. You watch your hands constantly now, afraid of another mistake. You count your steps. You time your reach. The machine seems closer, louder, hungrier. The child's singing has stopped. In its place, you hear coughing. All around the hall, dry, rasping coughs that echo off the iron beams. A man 2 frames down wipes blood from his mouth and keeps working. No one comments. The foreman passes again. You feel his shadow slide over your station. He does not stop. But you know your name is in the book now. Not your real name, the one the factory uses, the one that is made of numbers and time. At midday, the rhythm shifts. Some frames slow, others do not. You eat standing again. Bread, water, a piece of apple saved from yesterday. Your hands shake as you hold the food. The girl who coughed at the gate sits on a crate nearby. Her face is pale beneath the soot. Her eyes look glassy. She does not touch her bread. A woman beside her nudges her elbow. "Eat," she says. The girl swallows hard and takes a bite. She coughs again. This time, she doesn't hide it. The afternoon is worse. The heat builds. The steam thickens. The belts seem to move faster. Your arms feel heavy, as if someone has tied weights to your wrists. You think about the ledger, about the 34 seconds, about the way the foreman wrote without looking at you. You imagine the page filling with marks, each one a step closer to something you do not want to imagine. Dismissal, docked pay, a beating, or worse. The factory does not like weak links. Near the end of the shift, your eyes blur. You blink hard, trying to clear them. For a moment, the machine doubles in front of you. 2 frames where there should be 1. 2 belts. 2 sets of spindles. You shake your head. Reach for the thread. Your fingers brush the belt. Not enough to be pulled in. Enough to feel the heat. Enough to feel the speed. Your heart pounds. You pull your hand back. The machine continues as if nothing happened. You stand very still. You realize then how thin the line is, between working and being broken, between standing and falling, between leaving on your feet and not leaving at all. When the bell finally rings, it feels unreal. The sound cuts through the noise. Once, twice, 3 times. The machine's slow. The belts lose their scream. The hall fills with a strange, aching silence. You look at your hands. They are red, swollen, raw. They tremble. You close them into fists. They ache deeper when you do. As you walk toward the gates, you pass the foreman. He stands by the door, ledger tucked under his arm. He looks at you, just for a moment. There is no anger in his face, no cruelty. Only calculation. Then he looks away, and you understand something you wish you didn't. To him, you are not a person who made a mistake. You are a number that slowed the machine. Outside, the air is cold. Night has already fallen. The factory behind you hums softly, settling into sleep. You step into the fog with the others. Your body aches. Your mind is loud. And somewhere in a book you will never see, today has been recorded.
The cost of falling behind.
The factory remembers. It remembers every broken thread, every stalled spindle, every second that does not belong to production. You feel it the moment you step through the gates. Nothing has changed, and yet everything has. The yard looks the same. The chimneys still breathe. The steam still coils along the ground. The guards still stand with their ledger and baton. But you know now that your name is written somewhere, not as a person, as a delay. Inside, the hall greets you with its usual roar. Belts shriek overhead. Gears grind. Steam hisses from pipes that never cool. Lanterns glow weakly in the fog, casting shadows that crawl along the walls. You take your place at the frame. Your machine hums like it has been waiting. Your hands hover over the thread. For a moment, you hesitate. Not because you are afraid of the work, because you are afraid of being seen. The foreman is already walking. He moves faster today. His steps are sharp, clipped, efficient. The stopwatch hangs from his fingers like a weapon. He stops 2 frames down. A man there is tying a knot too slowly. The foreman does not shout. He simply taps the stopwatch. Once, twice. The man's hands shake. He drops the thread. His face goes pale beneath the soot. The foreman writes, then he moves on. The message travels faster than sound. Every worker feels it. The pace tightens. The morning presses forward. Your arms burn. Your wrists ache. Your eyes sting. The cotton dust clings to your skin and settles in your throat. You work faster. You tie knots without looking. You feed the thread before it even breaks. You move with the rhythm of the machine, letting it pull you along. This is what the factory wants. Not strength, not endurance, obedience. Near mid-morning, a boy runs past your frame. He is carrying 2 bobbins, stacked one atop the other. They wobble as he moves. He keeps his eyes on the floor, watching for oil slicks and loose bolts. He trips. One bobbin hits the ground and rolls. The other follows. The boy drops to his knees, scrambling after them. A belt passes inches from his head. Someone grabs his collar and yanks him back. The bobbins collide with a frame and shatter. Wood splinters scatter across the floor. The noise cuts through the hall. The machines do not stop. The foreman turns. He reaches the boy in seconds. The child stands, shaking, his hands empty. The foreman looks at the broken bobbins, then at the boy. "How many?" he asks. The boy swallows. I don't know." The foreman writes. The pencil scratches loud enough to hear over the belts. "You will replace them," he says. The boy nods quickly. "With your pay." The boy nods again. He does not cry. Crying wastes time. The foreman looks down the line. His eyes pass over faces, frames, moving belts. They stop on you. Just for a second. But you feel it like a hand on your shoulder. He checks your machine, the speed gauge, the tension. Everything is running. He writes nothing and walks on. Your lungs release the breath you were holding. At noon, the shift in rhythm comes again. You eat standing. Your bread is dry. Your water is warm. You chew slowly, listening to the hall. The boy sits on a crate nearby. His shoulders are hunched. He turns one of the broken bobbin fragments in his hands, running his fingers over the splintered edge. A woman beside him touches his arm. "You'll make it back," she says. He nods, but his eyes stay on the floor. The afternoon is relentless. The heat builds. The steam thickens. The noise grows sharper. Your hands feel slow. Your shoulders feel heavy. The machine does not care. It keeps pulling. It keeps demanding. It keeps counting. Late in the day, your thread snaps again. This time, you catch it quickly. You tie the knot without stopping the frame. Your fingers move on instinct. The machine never notices. You stand there, heart pounding, watching the thread run smooth and true. No one saw. No one wrote. You feel a strange relief. Then a darker thought follows it. This is what survival looks like now. Not doing well. Not being proud. Just not being noticed. Near the end of the shift, the foreman gathers the workers nearest the door. He stands on a crate so they can see him. The noise lowers as machines slow in that section. He opens his ledger. 3 workers will be docked this week, he says. A murmur runs through the group. 2 for lost materials. 1 for repeated delays. He looks down at the page, then up. The girl who coughed at the gate steps forward. Her face is pale. Her hands tremble. She knows. "So," the foreman continues, "you will work the extra hour on Saturday, unpaid." No one argues. No one moves. The ledger closes. The machines restart. When the final bell rings, your body feels hollow, as if the day has been scooped out of you and left nothing behind. You walk toward the gates with the others. Your boots drag. Your shoulders sag. The factory hums as it settles into its nightly rest. You know it is only pretending to sleep. Outside, the fog waits, cold, thick, patient. You step into it, and as you walk away, you think about the ledger, about the boy and the bobbins, about the girl and the extra hour, about the way the foreman looked through you instead of at you. And you understand the real cost of falling behind. Not money, not pain, but the slow, steady erasing of the person you used to be. The body that breaks. The factory teaches you to ignore your body. It trains you to silence it. Pain becomes background noise. Hunger becomes a distraction. Fatigue becomes normal. At first, your muscles protest. Then they obey. And finally, they fail. You feel it before you understand it. A weakness in your grip, a tremor in your wrist, a heaviness behind your eyes that no amount of blinking can clear. The hall is already warm when you arrive. Steam coils around the iron beams. The lanterns glow like dull suns in a yellow sky. The belts run overhead, whispering and screaming at the same time. You step into your place. Your machine hums. Your hands hover. For a moment, they hesitate. Not from fear, from exhaustion. The morning moves slowly. Your shoulders ache from the first hour. Your back burns by the second. Your knees feel hollow, as if the bones have been scooped clean. You tell yourself the same thing you tell yourself every day. Just make it to noon. Noon is a promise. Noon is rest. Noon is survival measured in bread and water. A man works 2 frames down. You know his name, though no one ever says it. He has been here longer than you. His hands are thick with scars. His beard is flecked with gray. He moves slower than he used to. Everyone knows it. The foreman knows it. The ledger knows it. But he is still here, so far. The air grows thick with cotton dust. It floats in pale clouds, settling on skin and cloth. Each breath scratches your throat. Your lungs feel tight, as if wrapped in wire. You cough into your sleeve. It sounds too loud. You swallow it. The factory does not like interruptions. The man 2 frames down stumbles. Just a step. Just enough for his shoulder to brush the frame. He steadies himself and keeps working. But you see it. The way his hand shakes when he reaches for the thread. The way his jaw clenches. The way his breath comes fast and shallow. The body is warning him. The factory is listening for weakness. The foreman passes. He glances at the man's frame, then at his hands, then at his face. The stopwatch clicks open. The man's movements tighten. He works faster, too fast. His fingers slip on the thread. It twists. The spindle snarls. The frame shudders. The sound cuts through the hall. The foreman is there in seconds. "How long?" he asks. The man swallows. "Just now." The foreman looks at the thread. at the tangled fibers, at the man's shaking hands. Fix it. The man moves. His fingers fumble. The knot slips. The thread snaps again. A murmur runs down the line. The foreman's eyes harden. Again. The man bends closer to the machine. Too close. His sleeve brushes the belt. For a fraction of a second, nothing happens. Then the fabric catches. The machine does not hesitate. The belt pulls. The sleeve tightens. The man stumbles forward. Someone shouts. A hand reaches for him. Too late. The belt drags his arm toward the frame. The machine screams. Not in anger, in effort. The foreman blows his whistle. Once. Twice. 3 times. The hall shudders as sections of the line slow. Workers back away. The belt keeps pulling. The man's face goes white. He does not scream. He cannot breathe. The fabric tears. His arm jerks free. He collapses onto the floor. For a moment there is silence. The machine slows to a dull roar. Steam hisses. The man lies on his side, clutching his arm. Blood seeps through the torn sleeve. His fingers twitch. The foreman looks down at him, then at the frame, then at the torn cloth caught in the belt. He gestures to 2 workers. Take him to the office. They lift the man under his arms. He groans. His boots drag along the floor, leaving a dark streak. The machines restart. The belts scream. The hall fills with noise again. The gap in the line closes. Another worker steps into his place. You stand very still. Your hands shake. Your heart pounds so hard it hurts. You think of the man's face, the way it went white, the way he did not scream. You imagine your own sleeve, your own hand, your own arm pulled into the machine. The factory does not care whose blood it is. It only cares that the belts keep moving. At noon, you eat without tasting. Your hands tremble around the cup. The boy with the broken bobbin sits nearby. He stares at the floor. Will he come back? He asks. No one answers. The afternoon stretches long and cruel. The heat presses down. The air grows thick and heavy. Your arms feel weak. Your fingers feel slow. Every movement takes effort. The memory of the belt stays with you. You watch your sleeve. You watch your hands. You keep your distance from the frame. The machine hums, patient, waiting. Near the end of the shift, your vision blurs. The hall doubles. Lanterns smear into streaks of light. You blink hard. Your knees wobble. You grip the frame to steady yourself. The metal is hot. Your palm burns. You pull back. The pain clears your head for a moment. You work faster. Too fast. Your breath comes short and sharp. Your chest aches. Your heart races. Your body is asking you to stop. The factory does not listen. When the bell finally rings, you feel more relief than joy. The sound cuts through the noise. Once. Twice. 3 times. The machines slow. The belts lose their scream. The hall exhales. You step away from your frame. Your legs feel weak. Your hands throb. You pass the place where the man fell. The floor has been scrubbed, but the stain remains. A dark shadow on the stone. No one looks at it. Outside, the night air hits your face. Cold, clean, sharp. It feels like a shock. You breathe deeply. Your lungs burn. Your chest tightens. You cough. A deep, rough sound. The kind that comes from far inside. You wipe your mouth. Your sleeve comes away spotted red. You stare at it, just for a second. Then you fold the sleeve over the stain and walk on. Because tomorrow, the bell will ring again, and your body will be expected to answer when the factory enters the blood. You carry the factory with you, not in your hands, not in your clothes, but inside. It settles in your chest, in your breath, in the rhythm of your heart. Even when the gates close behind you, the machines do not. They follow. The night is cold. Fog clings to the street like damp cloth. Gas lamps burn low, their light swallowed by the mist. Your breath rises in pale clouds, sharp in your throat. You walk with the others, slowly, silently, carefully. Every step sends a dull ache through your legs. Your shoulders sag beneath the weight of the day. Your hands feel swollen, stiff, like they no longer belong to you. The factory hums behind your eyes. Belts, gears, steam. You hear them in the space between footsteps. At the corner near the butcher's shop, a man leans against the wall. His cap is pulled low. His coat hangs open. His chest rises and falls too fast. You recognize him. He worked near the carding machines. Always quick. Always quiet. Tonight, he is shaking. "Cold?" someone asks. The man shakes his head. He opens his mouth to answer. Instead, he coughs. It is not a small cough. It comes from deep inside. It tears through him like a rope pulled too hard. He bends forward, one hand braced against the wall, the other pressed to his chest. Something dark splashes onto the stone. A woman gasps. The man straightens slowly. His lips are red. He wipes them with the back of his hand and smears the color across his sleeve. "I'm fine," he says. No one believes him, but no one says anything. You keep walking. The tenements rise ahead like crooked teeth. Inside, the stairwell smells of damp wood and boiled cabbage. The walls sweat. The steps creak. You climb. Your legs tremble with every step. On the landing, a child sits with his head against the wall. He looks up when you pass. His eyes are glassy. "Can't breathe," he says. His mother pulls him to his feet. "Inside," she whispers. Your room is colder than the street. The small stove has gone out. The coals are gray and dead. Your mother sits by the table, her shawl pulled tight. She looks up. "You're late." You nod. She pours water into the pot. The flame flickers weakly. You sit. The chair feels harder than it should. Your body aches in places you didn't know existed. You drink the tea. It tastes of rust. Your chest tightens as you swallow. A pressure builds behind your ribs, a dull, spreading weight. You cough. Once. Twice. The sound surprises you. It is deeper than before, rougher. Your mother watches you closely. "You've been coughing." You shrug. "So has everyone." She nods. That is not comfort. It is resignation. Later, you lie on your bed. The blanket is thin. The air is damp. The wall is cold against your shoulder. You close your eyes. The factory does not leave. You hear the belts overhead. You feel the vibration of the floor. You smell the oil and steam. Your chest tightens again. You cough into the pillow. The sound echoes too loudly in the small room. Sleep comes in fragments. You dream of turning wheels, of endless frames, of hands reaching for thread that never breaks, never ends. You wake with your heart racing. Your lungs burn. Your throat is raw. For a moment, you do not know where you are. Then you hear the building, the coughs, the footsteps, the creak of stairs, the city breathing around you. Before dawn, your mother wakes you. Her hand is light on your shoulder. "You're burning." You open your eyes. The room spins. Your head throbs. Your skin feels too tight. You try to sit. The world tilts. She steadies you. You should stay, she says. The word hangs between you. Stay. Miss the shift. Miss the bell. Miss the count. You imagine the ledger, the empty space where your name should be, the mark that would replace it. You shake your head. I'm fine. She looks at you, really looks, at your eyes, your skin, your hands. She knows, but she steps aside. Outside, the fog is thick again. The street glistens with damp. The lamps flicker. Your chest aches with every breath. You join the flow of workers. Someone claps his hands together to warm them. A woman wraps her scarf higher around her face. The boy with the bobbins walks beside you. He is quieter than usual. You hear about Thomas? He asks. You shake your head.
Didn't come home, he says.
They say he went to the hospital, or the workhouse, or nowhere. The boy kicks a stone. They say his lungs filled up. You think of the man at the butcher's wall, of the dark stain on the stone, of the red smear on his sleeve. The factory rises from the fog, bigger than it should be, darker. The gates stand open, waiting. You feel your chest tighten again. You slow, just for a moment. The boy looks at you. You coming? You nod. You step forward. The guards count. The ledger waits. The doors open, and the factory takes you back inside. The machines are already moving. The belts scream overhead. Steam rolls across the floor. You step into your place. Your hands feel numb. Your head throbs. Your lungs burn. The machine hums. You feed the thread. Your cough echoes once in the noise. The factory does not notice, but you feel it deep inside, like something settling, like something claiming space. The work has entered your blood, and it does not plan to leave.
The day the machines did not stop.
The factory sounds different today. Not louder, not faster, heavier. The belts drag through the air like iron snakes. The gears grind with a deeper, slower growl. Steam leaks from joints that should be sealed, hissing like breath escaping from a wounded lung. You notice it the moment you step inside. The noise presses harder against your chest. It feels closer, as if the machines have leaned in. Your station waits. The frame stands where it always does. The spindle spins. The belt runs smooth and tight. But something in the rhythm is wrong. Not broken. Impatient. You place your hands on the cotton. They tremble. Your cough has not left you. It sits in your throat like a stone. Each breath burns. Around you, workers take their places. A woman rubs her wrists before starting. A boy yawns and slaps his cheeks. A man mutters a prayer you cannot hear. The whistle blows, the machines surge, and the hall becomes motion. The morning blurs. The belts run faster than usual. You feel it in the pull of the thread, in the way the frame resists your hands. The tension gauge creeps higher than it should. You glance at it, then back to your work. No one touches the gauge. No one ever does. That would slow the line. 2 aisles over, a loom begins to shriek. Not the usual whine, a sharp, tearing sound. A woman near it looks up. Her head tilts. She hesitates. The loom jerks. The thread tangles. The belt slips. The machine shudders. She steps back. The sound grows louder. The foreman turns. He raises his whistle. Before he can blow it, the loom lurches forward. The belt snaps loose. It whips through the air like a living thing. Someone screams. The belt slams into a support beam, cracking wood. Steam bursts from a ruptured pipe. The hall fills with white fog. Workers scatter. The machine continues to thrash. The whistle finally sounds. Once. Twice. 3 times. Sections of the line slow, but the broken loom does not. It keeps fighting. The foreman shouts orders. Men rush forward with tools. A wrench clatters across the floor. Someone slips in the oil. The loom shudders again. Then, with a sound like a gunshot, the belt tears free. It slaps the floor. The machine groans. And then, finally, it slows. For a moment, there is silence. Not true silence. The rest of the hall still hums. But around the broken loom, there is a hollow space. Steam hangs thick and white. Through it, you see a shape on the floor. A woman. She lies on her side, her arm twisted beneath her. Her hair is loose, spread across the stone. Someone kneels beside her. "Can you hear me?" She does not move. The foreman steps closer. He looks down at her, then at the machine, then at the snapped belt. He rubs his jaw. "Get her out of the way," he says. 2 workers lift her. Her head lolls. Her eyes are closed. They carry her toward the door. The steam thins. The floor is wet, dark. The machine stands still, waiting. The foreman turns. "Restart the line." Someone hesitates. "But restart it." The belts catch. The gears turn. The hall fills with sound again. The broken loom is pushed aside. A new belt is dragged into place. The space where the woman fell is wiped with a rag. The stain remains. A shadow on the stone. No one looks at it. You return to your frame. Your heart is still pounding. Your hands shake. You feed the thread. The machine pulls. The rhythm returns as if nothing happened. The boy beside you leans close. "They didn't even stop the shift," he whispers. You shake your head. They never do. At noon, the broken loom is still silent. The rest of the hall runs around it, flowing like a river around a rock. You eat standing. Your hands feel weak. Your chest aches. The image of the woman on the floor stays with you. Her stillness. The way they lifted her like a sack of cloth. The way the machine waited. The afternoon grows hotter. The steam thickens. The belts scream. The floor vibrates under your boots. You watch the frames. You watch the belts. You watch your hands. Every sound feels like a warning. Every vibration feels like a threat. You flinch when a pipe hisses. You step back when a gear clicks too loud. The factory feels restless, as if it remembers what it did and wants to do it again. Near the end of the shift, a man shouts. A spindle has jammed. The thread is tangled. The frame rattles. The foreman strides over. He does not blow the whistle. "Clear it," he says. The man hesitates. The spindle jerks. The belt snaps tight. "Clear it now." The man reaches in. You look away. You hear the scrape of metal, the hiss of steam, the snap of thread. Then a sharp cry. The whistle finally blows. When the bell rings for the end of the shift, it feels unreal. The sound cuts through the chaos. Once, twice, 3 times. The machines slow.
The belts lose their scream. The hall exhales. You stand still for a moment. Your ears ring, your chest tightens.
You look at the broken loom. It sits in the corner like a dead animal, its belt coiled on the floor, its frame dark and silent. You imagine the woman's face, the way she did not move. You imagine the ledger, what it wrote, what it did not. Outside, the fog waits, cold, thick, unforgiving. You step into it with the others. The factory behind you hums softly, as if dreaming, as if remembering. And you know now what the factory truly is. Not a place, not a building, but a thing that moves, that feeds, that breaks, and that does not stop.
The disappearance.
You notice the absence before you notice anything else. A space where a body should be. A frame standing idle. A gap in the line that has not yet been filled. It feels wrong. The factory is never wrong. The morning begins as it always does. Fog in the yard, steam in the hall, belts screaming overhead. You take your place. The machine hums. Your hands move. The rhythm settles into your bones. But something is missing. 2 frames down, the station is empty. The boy with the bobbins is not there. His crate sits against the wall. His coat hangs on the peg. The bobbin rack is untouched. You glance at the woman beside you. "Where's the boy?" you ask. She shakes her head. "Haven't seen him." The foreman walks past. You watch him. He does not look at the empty station. He does not write. He does not stop. The whistle blows. The line starts. The empty frame stays empty. By mid-morning, the absence has weight. The machines do not care. They pull and spin and grind, but the gap draws your eye. Every time you turn your head, you see it. A space that should be filled with small hands, quick feet, a quiet voice. The boy always arrived early, always ran between frames, always carried more than he should. Today, he is not here. At noon, you sit on your crate. You eat slowly. Your chest aches. Your cough burns. The empty station waits. The woman beside you leans closer. "Did you hear anything?" she asks. You shake your head. A man on the other side shrugs. "Maybe he's sick." "Maybe," she says. No one believes it. Sick workers come in anyway. They always do. In the afternoon, a new boy appears. He stands near the foreman. His hair is too neat. His coat too clean. He clutches a paper in his hand. The foreman points at the empty station. The boy nods. He steps into the gap. He looks around. He swallows. Then the machines pull him in. The gap closes. The line is whole again. The boy with the bobbins is erased. That night, you walk home through fog and gaslight. Your boots scrape. Your breath fogs. The city feels quieter than usual. At the tenement, a woman stands in the doorway. Her shawl is pulled tight. Her face is pale. It is the boy's mother. She looks up when she sees you. "Have you seen him?" she asks. Your stomach tightens. "He wasn't at the mill today." Her eyes widen. "He left before dawn," she says. "Said he was late." You shake your head. "He didn't come." She presses a hand to her mouth. The stairwell behind her is dark, empty. The next morning, the gates open. The ledger counts. The baton watches. You step inside. The new boy runs between frames. He moves slower. He drops a bobbin. Someone shouts at him. The line keeps moving. You look at the empty peg. The coat is gone. The crate has been taken. There is no sign the boy ever existed. By the end of the week, no one speaks his name. The factory has no place for memory. Only motion. Only output. Only numbers. The boy has become a rumor. A question no one asks. A story whispered on stairwells. They say he went to the hospital. They say he went to the workhouse. They say he ran away. They say nothing. One evening you pass the butcher's shop. The man who coughed there is gone. The spot on the wall has been scrubbed. A new stain is already forming. The city keeps breathing. The factory keeps working. People keep disappearing. And the line never breaks. That night you lie awake. Your chest burns. Your head throbs. You listen to the building, the coughs, the footsteps, the cries. You think of the boy, of the empty station, of the new hands on the bobbins. You realize something you wish you didn't. The factory does not kill people. It replaces them. The quiet rebellion. The factory believes it has broken you. It believes your back is bent far enough. Your hands are fast enough. Your fear is deep enough. It believes you will keep coming. And most of the time, it is right. But even here, among steam and iron, among belts and shadows, among men who vanish and children who are replaced, something begins to stir. Not loudly, not bravely, not in daylight, only in whispers. It begins with a look, a glance held for a second too long, a nod when the foreman turns away, a hand placed briefly on another shoulder. Small things, invisible things, but real. You feel it one morning when your cough returns. It burns deeper now. It scratches your lungs like wire. You turn away from the frame, pressing your sleeve to your mouth. The woman beside you notices. She doesn't speak. She shifts her position slightly, standing between you and the aisle. Her body blocks the foreman's view. Just for a moment, just long enough for you to breathe. The machine keeps running. The ledger remains closed. When you look at her, she does not meet your eyes, but her shoulder stays close to yours. At noon, a man slips you half of his bread. He does it without looking. He sets it on your crate and walks away. You stare at it. You know he cannot afford to lose it. You take it anyway. You eat slowly. For the first time in weeks, your stomach feels warm. In the stairwell that night, someone has written on the wall. The chalk is faint, the letters uneven. We are not machines. You stop. You read it twice. A woman passes you. She smiles, then wipes half of it away with her sleeve. Not to erase it, to hide it. The next day, the belts run too fast again. The tension gauges creep higher. A frame rattles. You catch the woman's eye. She nods once. She steps back. You do the same. So does the man beside you. The machine shudders. The foreman turns. Too late. The belt slips. The whistle blows. The line slows. Only for a minute. But a minute is a victory, the foreman shouts. He writes. But no one is hurt. The machine did not bite. That evening, in the alley behind the tenements, a group gathers. Not many. 5, 6, maybe 8. They stand close together. They speak softly. A man with gray in his beard watches the street. A woman keeps her hand on the door. Someone passes around a folded paper. You do not read it. You do not need to. You already know what it says. They speak of wages, of hours, of the boy who vanished, of the woman carried out past the broken loom, of the man whose sleeve tore, of the cough that never leaves. They speak of ledgers, of numbers, of how easily a person becomes a space. Someone says the word, union. It lands heavy, dangerous, alive. No one says it again. The next week, 2 men do not come to work. No one says why. The foreman walks the line. The ledger opens. 2 new workers arrive. The gap closes. But the whispers continue. On stairwells, in alleys, in the long walk home. One night, as you pass the butcher's shop, you see the chalk again. This time on the wall near the door. Bolder, thicker. We are not machines. Someone has drawn a line beneath it, and below that, one word. Remember. You lie awake that night. Your chest burns. Your hands ache. Your head throbs. But your mind does not feel empty. For the first time, it feels crowded. With names, with faces, with absences, with the sound of belts stopping, even if only in your imagination. The factory will not fall. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not even this year. But something has begun. Quiet. Fragile. Dangerous. A rebellion without banners. Without speeches. Without leaders. A rebellion made of hands that slow. Of eyes that watch. Of voices that whisper. The factory does not hear it yet, but it will. And when it does, it will remember that even iron can break. The price of speaking. The factory always hears. It hears the coughs. It hears the slips. It hears the broken threads. And when the whispers grow too loud, it listens even harder. It begins with a look. Not the foreman's usual glance, not the quick calculation of time and motion. This one lingers. You feel it on your back. When you turn, he is already writing. The pencil scratches, the ledger closes. He does not say your name. He never has. He does not need to. The belts run as always. The frames spin. The steam coils around your ankles, but something in the hall has shifted. The women do not stand as close together now. The men do not pass bread as freely. The boy with the neat coat keeps his eyes on the floor. The chalk on the stairwell wall is gone, scrubbed clean. Not even a shadow remains. At noon, the man with gray in his beard does not appear. His crate sits empty, his cup untouched. The woman beside you glances at the door, then back at her bread. She eats quickly, too quickly. A foreman stands near the exit. He watches. In the afternoon, the whistle sounds early. Not for a break, for an inspection. Men in dark coats enter the hall. Their boots are polished. Their hands are clean. Their eyes move slowly. They walk the line. They stop at frames. They ask questions. Not loudly. Not kindly. They write names. They write numbers. They write remarks in the margins. The ledger grows heavier. They stop near your station. One of them looks at your hands, at the stains on your sleeve, at the way your chest rises too fast. "How long have you worked here?" he asks. You hesitate. 2 years? He nods. Any complaints? You think of the boy, the woman, the broken loom, the man whose sleeve tore, the cough that never leaves. You shake your head. No, sir. He writes something, moves on. That evening, the fog is thicker. The street is quieter. The butcher's shop is dark. The public house is empty. At the tenement, a woman stands in the stairwell. Her shawl is pulled tight. Her face is gray. "They took him," she says. You know who she means. The man with the beard. "Who?" you ask. She shakes her head. "Men in coats." The next morning, the empty crate is gone. A new worker stands in its place. He is young. Too young. His hands are smooth. They will not stay that way. No one mentions the man with the beard. No one asks where he went. The factory does not like questions. The whispers fade. The nods stop. The bread stays in pockets. The looks become careful. The rebellion folds in on itself like a dying flame. The factory breathes easier. One afternoon, the woman who shielded you from the foreman's view is called to the office. She does not come back. Her frame stands empty for an hour. Then another woman steps into it. The belts do not slow. That night, you find a scrap of paper in your coat. It is folded small. The writing is cramped. They are watching. Be careful. Say nothing. There is no name. There does not need to be. You burn the paper in the stove. The flame eats the words. The ash drifts into the air. Your chest tightens. Your cough tears through you. Your mother watches. "You should stop," she says. You shake your head. "You know I can't." She looks away. At the factory, the foreman passes your station. He does not stop. He does not write, but he taps the ledger once with his finger. Not a threat, a reminder. You understand now. Speaking is dangerous. Silence is survival. Memory is a risk. The factory does not crush rebellion with force. It waits. It listens. And then it removes the ones who remember. You walk home in the fog. Your boots scrape. Your breath burns. Your hands ache. You pass the place where the chalk once was. The wall is clean, blank, perfect, as if nothing was ever written there at all. The factory stands behind you, tall, black, breathing. It does not roar. It does not threaten. It simply waits for tomorrow. And it knows you will come, because speaking has a price, and silence is the only currency it accepts. The silence that remains. The factory does not say goodbye. It does not mark endings. It does not remember faces. It does not pause for loss. It only continues. The morning comes like all the others. Fog in the yard, steam in the hall, the bell splitting the air like a blade. You walk through the gates. You take your place. Your hands move. Your chest burns. Your cough stays with you now, no matter how hard you swallow it down. It lives in you. It has made a home in your lungs. The machine hums. The rhythm settles. The day begins. There are fewer familiar faces. The woman who shielded you is gone. The man with the beard is gone. The boy with the bobbins is a story no one tells anymore. Their stations are filled. Their crates are gone. Their names exist only in stairwells and memory is dangerous. At noon, you sit alone. Your bread is smaller. Your hands shake. You look at the line. The frames stretch farther than you can see. Belts run overhead like veins. The factory pulses, alive, indifferent. In the afternoon, your breath grows short. Your chest tightens. Each inhale feels shallow. Each exhale burns. The woman beside you notices. She says nothing. She shifts closer. Not to help, to replace you if you fall. The machines grow louder as the light fades. The steam thickens. The belts scream. Your head swims. The hall tilts. You steady yourself against the frame. The metal is hot. Your palm burns. You barely feel it. The pain is far away now. Your vision blurs. The frames double. The lanterns smear into gold streaks. The noise becomes distant, muffled, as if you are underwater. You cough. It tears through you. Something wet fills your mouth. You swallow. It tastes of iron. You step back. Just a half step. Just enough for the belt to pass closer than it should. A hand grabs your sleeve. The woman pulls you away. The belt snaps past where your arm was. The machine does not notice. It keeps moving. The factory does not slow. You lean against the wall. Your heart pounds. Your lungs burn. The foreman looks over. For a moment, his eyes meet yours. He does not shout. He does not write. He simply watches, calculating. Then he turns away. When the final bell rings, you do not hear it at first. The sound reaches you through the fog in your head. Once, twice, 3 times. The machines slow. The belts lose their scream. The hall exhales. You remain where you are. Your legs feel hollow. Your hands feel numb. The woman touches your arm. "Go," she says. You nod. You do not trust your voice. Outside, the night air hits your face. Cold, sharp, clean. Your lungs seize. You bend forward. You cough into your sleeve. Dark spots bloom across the cloth. You stare at them. For a moment, the world is very quiet. The walk home is slow. Your boots drag. Your chest aches. The fog wraps around you. The city feels distant, unreal. At the tenement door, you stop. Your hand rests on the wood. You breathe in, slowly, carefully. Your mother looks up when you enter. She sees your face. She knows. She says nothing. She helps you to the chair. She pours tea you cannot drink. She sits beside you. Later, you lie on your bed. The room is dark. The blanket is thin. The wall is cold. Your breath rattles in your chest. Each inhale is a fight. Each exhale, a surrender. Through the wall, you hear the building. Coughs. Footsteps. A baby crying. The city breathing. You close your eyes. The factory comes back. The belts, the frames, the whistle, the ledger opening, the pencil scratching. You see the boy, the woman, the man with the beard. You see the empty stations, the clean walls, the erased words. The bell rings in your dream. You reach for your boots. Your hands shake. You try to stand. The floor tilts. The sound fades. The machines slow. The hall grows quiet. And somewhere, far away, the factory opens its gates again. Workers walk in. The ledger counts. The baton watches. The belts begin to move. A new pair of hands takes your place. The line closes. The rhythm continues. The factory does not remember you. The city will forget your name. The street will scrub the stains from its stones. The stairwell will be washed clean. And in the end, what remains is not your face, not your voice, not your story. Only the silence, the long, heavy silence of a machine that never stops.